Sorry, my last video terminated early there. I think my camera said it had had enough. But anyway, let me just continue with a little bit of a gear review here, inspired by the book Would You Like a Toilet with That? It was interesting, in that book the author said that the portable bucket type toilet was really like gold. You know, it didn't matter if you were a millionaire or a poor person. That was more something in the days after the earthquake that was a real luxury. Here I was talking about dust masks. These are N95 masks, and I actually found these on Amazon. These are the type that medical folks wear to prevent catching tuberculosis from a patient, for example. But it's interesting, I found a small size model. So if you type that into Amazon, I think you'll find it. I'll also see if I can put a link in below. But you know, with a mask that's large enough for a grown man, it may not fit a child or a petite woman. Just some good iPro. These are shop shears that I got at Home Depot, and they are great. I mean, they'll cut through anything, plastic, whatever, right? They're indestructible, they're very sharp, and this might be a good thing for someone who may not be comfortable around knives, for example, or maybe you're in an environment where it's not legal to carry around a knife. Well, a good pair of shop shears could fulfill a lot of the same purposes as a knife. An emergency radio. This is one where it has the NOAA weather alerts, and you can program it to whatever county you're in, and it'll switch on and tell you whenever there's an alert. You can decide if you want to get tornado watch warnings, an alarm. The radio switches on automatically, or if you only want the tornado watch, if you only want the tornado warning and not the tornado watch because you're getting tired of hearing about the tornado watches that happen all the time, you can program it for that as well. And then, just because if the earthquake happens here, we're not likely to be lucky like Christchurch and have West Christchurch up and running and still have a lot of connectivity to the rest of the world. If you are already a ham radio kind of person and you've got all sorts of radios that you can communicate back and forth on, then obviously you know what you need, and this is not what you need. But for someone who hasn't had that training, this is just a radio that receives bands other than FM and AM. And so if all the local radio stations are out, you may be able to pick up some further away radio stations to find out what's going on, because that information vacuum could be very scary. Plus, it'll give you something to do. Again, if you're someone who's a real radio hobbyist, you're probably going to have all sorts of fancy antennas and things like that. But for just the average apartment dweller, whatever the case may be, you can get a radio like this, and it's not really going to pick up much just with that little extendable antenna on there. I do recommend you pick up some sort of antenna like this one here. I was able to loop this over the kids' play set in the backyard and pick up radio stations that I couldn't pick up otherwise. Oh, and last but certainly not least, you want to have 110 gallons of soy sauce, right? Just kidding. I picked these up for 25 bucks a piece. They were used once to store soy sauce. I got them off of Craigslist. The guy had already rinsed them out for me. I put them in my backyard on a sunny day, swished around a little bit of water and chlorine to sort of sanitize them, and I wasn't worried about rinsing all the chlorine out because it's good to have a little bit of chlorine in there. And filled them up with water, and now I've got plenty of water. Well, depends how big your family is and how long you plan on needing it. But this is probably one of the cheapest and easiest ways to store a lot of water, maybe in your garage like this. Hope that was helpful. Please leave any comments for future videos you'd like to see, and I'll try to get more tech savvy as my making video process goes on. Thanks for watching.